We have a cold wave.
Yay, there she is.
I was tidying my dresses. So sorry.
How are you both?
Fabulous.
Ellie, good to see you.
And you too, all the way from Tel Aviv. Thank you for joining us, because I know it's 8 o'clock and way past home time.
Yeah, I just started telling that it's here, it's a cold wave in Tel Aviv. You know, you're British, so saying cold wave for 9 degrees Celsius, it's a bit, it's a bit tricky, but for us, it's tricky. So,
yeah, I imagine it must be a bit of a shock to the system how cold it can get. Yeah.
Exactly.
So especially, I know how hot your summers can be, so it's a real contrast there.
A real contrast, but that's as low as it gets, so we don't get zeros or something. So that's our minimums.
Brilliant. that makes us feel so much better, doesn't it, Ellie?
I know. Thanks for clearing us up. It's freezing here. I've got the underfloor heating seeping up through me, and I've got fans blowing on me.
Must stay warm. Oh, bless you. Right, so let's not keep everyone waiting. I'm sure everyone is so excited, I am as well, to hear more about RISH and Ellie's relationship with RISH Bridal. So, you know, let's dive right into it. So, Leo, why don't you start by telling us about the label and the background and, you know, of course, your designer, Yov, and his fascination with fabrics and sewing, please.
So where will I start? So RISH basically was founded 10 years ago in Israel, in Tel Aviv, by Yoav, who is right now my business partner. He started doing bridal wear and evening wear in Tel Aviv for all the celebrities, all the magazine covers that you can imagine. He had a great success here in the country. And 4 years ago, RISH went international, first in the US and later to Australia, New Zealand, now in Japan.
Wow.
So really like far away places.
Amazing. So you're like worldwide now.
Well, we're worldwide currently with over 60 retailers. Most of them are in the US, but we have a great presence in Canada, in the UK with the beautiful Ellie Sanderson, and some other stockists there. And yeah, Yoav started it because he really, really loves everything that has to do with design. It's not necessarily fashion, although fashion is his biggest love, but even I'll share a little secret detail. Currently, he works in a collaboration with the Israeli, the biggest carpet firm in Israel, and we're making a capsule collection for carpet based RISH fabrics that will later on. But it's really everything that has to do with hands, with working with the hand, craftsmanship, design, sewing, creating. And it's really a great inspiration, you know, watch him work.
I imagine so. And Ellie, you know, hearing the background there must be part of the reason it drew you to the RISH label. But, you know, are there any other reasons?
Yeah, I mean, I think listening to Leo say all of that has hit the nail on the head. You know, for me, buying wedding dresses in what can be a saturated market is quite difficult because I don't want any products in my shop that are mass produced, over manufactured, where I see fabrics copied everywhere. And so during lockdown, I stumbled across these guys on Instagram and instantly saw something very different in this label, and looked at all the US shops that they were in. I looked at all the dress styles, the fabrics, the intricacies, the fit, the cut. Getting really boring with that now, but it's so vital that these things are right, because you soon know when they're not right when you start fitting a bride's wedding dress. So I fell in love with all of those things. And then, you know, to find there was only a handful of stockists in the UK, for me, positioned, you know, us with this collection in a very special place. And we've enjoyed that very special place the last few months with girls driving over 150 miles to try on some of these dresses because they're that special. So yeah, I recognize the specialness there, and my brides are doing the same now as well.
Amazing. Oh, it's so lovely to hear like the passion from both of you. It's like really, it just gets, this is why we work in weddings.
Yeah,
indeed.
I take what Ellie said. I'll just elaborate a bit on that. We're in RISH, we really try not to oversaturate ourselves. Also in the US, where we have the majority of our retailers, you can usually find us in one store per state. If it's a big state, such as, let's say, California, so we have more presence, or we have 4 or 5 retailers there. But if you take any average state in the US, we will usually work with one store, and it's our decision. We don't want to be oversaturated. We know that our name runs for miles and brides will arrive, and we want every store to be focused and to be devoted as much as we're devoted to the store and the success of the store. So it's really a very important key factor here in the brand. We don't want to get super saturated. We want only the best stores to carry us, only the ones that we have the perfect fit with, and we don't compromise. And Ellie is a great example. We had a click from the first moment we saw each other.
Love at first sight. Oh.
I was, let's be fair here, I was interviewed. I was interviewed by this man.
He was interviewed,
ruthlessly grilled. But Leor is right. You know, for me as well, I don't work with dozens of dress labels. I have 5 dress labels in each of my shops. And the people that I work with, it's not a 1-year relationship. It's not a 2-year relationship. I've worked with Suzanne Neville for nearly 14 years and Sassy Holford for the same. So for me, it's about building long-term relationships. And, you know, you got to like the people you work with. You've got to trust them to deliver. And I felt that instantly. And yeah, it's blossomed from there in the last 6 months. So yeah.
Amazing. Well, we've had quite a few comments already coming in. So Lottie saying, I'm an Ellie RISH bride. This is very exciting. We've had a couple of people say that they've purchased a dress from you. They're so excited for it to arrive. Oh, Ellie Sanderson is the most beautiful boutique. Oh, love it. Keep those comments coming in, guys. If you've got any questions, please put them in. I'll keep an eye out and I'll jump in if there's something there.
Definitely.
Yes. And what is Yoav's vision for the label in terms of the fabrics and the fabrics being made just for RISH? You know, what is the vibe of the label?
Okay, so about the fabrics, it's not that they're only made for us. We are in charge of the whole process. I think we can split it to 2. Yoav is in charge of the design, and I'm in charge of the money, basically. Spoke more about inspiration, and you know, to see him seeing a coffee mug or anything, we can be at the mall and he sees something and he says, okay, wait a couple of months and you'll see the fabric. And like in 3 to 4 months, we have 1,000-yard rolls here. He creates them from scratch. He takes the iPad and he starts sketching. Then we send it and they send us back a swatch, and then he improved that. But I think that's a key factor that differs us from many other designers. We make our own fabrics. We're in charge of their quality, of their appearance, of the way they fit. Everything matters. And because we're in charge of the whole process, and we're in charge of designing the dress. So what happens is that Yoav designs a specific fabric for a specific dress. So he knows the silhouette before he creates the fabric. So it makes it easier for the dress to look better. Usually what done is that you have a dress and then you try on some fabrics, but you have a collision between the silhouette and the fabric because it's not made per this dress. So that's an advantage that we enjoy from. And I can tell you that we started doing that 2 years ago. And I think that what gave us the biggest elevation, because brides really love to be unique. And to be honest, I get them. There are hundreds of thousands of dresses and designers out there. And the pool of the fabric is very narrow. Ellie knows that better than me. You can see great designers and you can see their dresses, and then you can see the same fabric going across thousands and thousands of dresses. So here we have an agreement with the factories that the fabrics that we produce are our own fabric, they cannot resell it to anyone else. So what you buy is only yours and anywhere.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And there's, sorry, Ellie, you had a question.
I'm just going to say, I think that's one of the most important things, this uniqueness. And we are in a society where we are bombarded daily and hourly with wedding dresses. If you're getting married, you become paralyzed by it. But what you start to notice very quickly is that you start seeing the same thing again and again and again and again. And it's you know, for me, I just go, oh God, not that fabric again. And I see it start off, you know, maybe a designer has this fabric, and then by the end of the following season, it's manufactured by everybody. And this dress, I just die a little when I see that. So for me, the uniqueness is so important. But, you know, I would also add that it's not just about patterned fabrics, because one of my most loved dresses is a crepe dress, that a RISH crepe dress. And she's a little bit behind me here. This gorgeous. Step aside, Laura. This darling here, Robin, she's got a little top on with her, but this comes off. She is a plain crepe dress. So, you know, you might say, well, that's not exclusive. By God, it is, because the way the pattern's cut is like nothing on earth. You know, it is so beautiful. All those clever lines that make your figure look phenomenal. And I've seen this dress on, you know, skinny girls and curvy girls. And the way it's cut is incredible. A, because the fabric is beautiful and it doesn't show all the lumps and bumps. But B, also the pattern cutting. So it's not just about bespoke lace. It's also about beautiful bespoke fabrics that are clean as well. So, yeah, I think the big word I would use is unique. You know, it's got to be unique.
Yeah, I agree.
Amazing, amazing. Well, we've had a couple more comments come through. Jews Van White are saying we are obsessed with this brand and we see it on all the hottest brides in New York. So nice to hear it's also available in the UK. Ellie, where is the store located?
So we hold this lovely collection in my Woodstock studio, and our neighbour is Blenheim Palace. I'd just like to add that, the Duke of Marlborough. So Woodstock is a beautiful little designer market town that's about 6 miles outside of Oxford City, which is where my shop was originally. But I've moved here because the parking's nicer and it's a beautiful day out. You come to Woodstock, you go and have lunch, afternoon tea. It's just beautiful, perfectly English. But then, of course, there's this little hidden gem with all these gorgeous dresses in it. So, you know, they live here. This is their home at the moment. And we chose to put them in here, Nikita, because the bride that shops here is a little bit different to my Beaconsfield bride. So we thought, let's launch them here, test how my brides are loving them, which they do, and then make a decision and maybe nudge them down the M40 towards closer to London, which is where Beaconsfield is. So they're primarily housed here.
Amazing. And Lottie is saying this is exactly why I chose the RISH dress. I'm not a typical bride and this is not a typical dress.
Yay.
Love
Hello,
that.
Lottie.
Rachie 3105 is saying, oh, that's my dress, the Robin dress. That must be your dress. That's my favorite too. It's such a classic from Darcy. Oh, amazing. Keep those comments coming in, guys. Really appreciate it.
Darcy's getting married in one of these dresses very soon. So, yeah.
Amazing. Right. So my next question for you, Lior, I think you kind of touched on it. But tell us a bit about the company ethics around sourcing and making your dresses.
Okay, so as I mentioned before, the fabrics is a huge deal for us. And going back to this point, the fact that we produce our fabrics per dress and we create the silhouette beforehand, then we're able to create fewer portions of residue. We have fewer leftovers. The previous collection and the current collection, the loss, we really try to put attention to it because we had mountains upon mountains of leftover fabrics, you know, from corners, and when you cut it, you always have leftovers. So right now we're donating these leftovers that we have to nursing homes, which have craftsmanship courses and sewing classes. So we give it back, try to do something good with it, not just throw you know, create another more waste. The other thing is that we're very, it's a startup environment here at RISH. So it's very homey. It's not mass production. Everything is we make dresses. We don't create lots of inventory. So there are no dresses that are being thrown to the garbage. We really try to put attention on it. It's really important for us.
Amazing, amazing. It's so lovely to hear that you try your best to avoid waste as much as possible. And, you know, we can all use that. Obviously, we know weddings is quite a wasteful industry in general. And it's really great to hear that that's improving as much as we can.
Yeah, we try to improve and be the best. It's, of course, we still have much more to improve, but we're doing our best. It's really important for us. Yeah,
that's amazing to hear. And Ellie, you kind of touched on it. You know, you're getting ahead of my questions. Tell you what made you add the RISH collection to your Woodstock store?
Yeah, I think, you know, I've worked with a number of sort of soft boho brands in the last sort of 2-3 years. And back to what I said earlier about getting a little bit bored with seeing the fabrics being repeated everywhere else. You know, I decided to move a few labels on and make space for this. The Woodstock bride is different to Beaconsfield. But, you know, I have some brides that will shop in both shops because the collections are different. I have some brides that will start off in Beaconsfield. And I say Beaconsfield's probably more, a little bit more classic, modern, edgy. And I'd say the Woodstock vibe is a little bit more relaxed, understated. And, you know, naturally, that was the first launch point for RISH. But, you know, don't forget, I've got some of my labels in both shops. So, you know, like Suzanne Neville and Jesus Fuero work in both shops because they have big collections. And some of the dresses work better in Beaconsfield and some of the dresses work better in Woodstock. That might be where we go here, which is why we're doing our little pop-up in Beaconsfield for 2 weeks. You know, Leor and I talked about Beaconsfield initially because it's so close to London and we want the London brides. So this is all about us giving the London brides a taste of this great collection. So the weekend of the 12th, weekend and the 19th is going to be RISH Fortnight in Beaconsfield.
Amazing. It's going to be really exciting to see how your brides react to that. Do you have many spaces left for that? Just so we
have been talking about it now for about 10 days on social media. We have got probably about half of the appointments left. It is a month away, so there's still plenty of time to get booked in. But I imagine after this evening, we'll start to see those appointments fill up. I'm going to tell you something else that's quite interesting. And I counted this the other day. We have had 121 appointments booked in our diary in the last 9 days. Okay, so when you think of that, you know how busy we are. And I'm going to just do a big plug for the whole wedding industry here. The whole of the 2020 brides that didn't get married then are getting married this year. And the market, the wedding size this year of the market is going to be about 55% bigger than a normal year. So all of these beautiful handmade dresses, there is going to be a production capacity because, you know, Leor has his team of craftsmen and women that make these dresses. And when they are at capacity, as in they're working 7 days a week, they can't make any more dresses. So when I have girls come in and put a dress on and go, I love her, I'm going to need her, and I'll come back in 4 weeks' time with my girlfriend and my wedding's in June, the answer is no. So we and many shops up and down the country and a lot of the suppliers are now saying no to brides before June. We can't do it because we're still doing 2020 brides. So it's massive and it's important to put that out there. So, you know.
Yeah. Ellie is very right. I see that lots of brands right now are holding their rush orders to pause. They don't allow any rush orders. And even in our company, we usually don't ask for prior approval for 12 weeks rush. Right now, we do ask our retailers to approve with us. Yeah. We do see it. We do see many new brides coming in. We do see what Ellie just said. This vacuum that was created thanks to our friend COVID-19, our amazing friend COVID-19. vacuum is right now opens up, and brides, the future brides, they need to know that the usual height they had to contemplate, and right now it's going to be a little issue, and they have to work their way towards a decision in a faster pace, because there's a big chance that they won't be having the dress that they want because of the lack of time.
Yeah. And here's another little good news story today, is that earlier on today, Lior's colleague Oded messaged me to say that my shipment of RISH dresses are going to land down probably on Monday for the and those are dresses that are only going to be available in the UK with us, that are being shipped, that are special one-offs. So for those brides that haven't got their dress, that are shorter time, happy days.
Yeah.
We have got RISH dresses coming out of our ears that are off the peg to sell. So, you know, it's a great opportunity to get a RISH dress off the peg at a slightly discounted price, because they are off the peg dresses as opposed to orders that would go through normally. So,
correct. Really something we never do. So it's a great opportunity for brides. We did that. I had this idea. It was just because Ellie is so wonderful. We have such a strong belief in the Ellie Sanderson's brand. And we really ship now some unique styles that you can't find in any other store in the UK. They will be in a special price, and you can buy it off the rack. Some of them you can also buy in a variety of sizes. But I really recommend.
Oops, frozen.
Can
you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So I really recommend girls to come and visit the store. They will see styles that they won't see later on. So I really recommend that.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, guys. Exclusive dresses available at Ellie Sanderson.
Outside.
We've had a question. How do you expect this will impact 2023 brides? So I assume that is where you know, the dresses are in high demand at the moment. And I assume actually the answer is probably going to be, if you booked your venue and you're ready to go, get in and get your dress.
Yeah, don't wait.
The next two, this 2022 and 2023 are going to be the biggest years in wedding for decades. So I say to every single bride at the moment, and I can hand on my heart, this isn't a sales pitch, but if you buy your dress early, you will have the choice of everything. If you leave it to the end, your choices are going to be limited. And that includes 23, because next year, you know, if you say, you know, there's normally 275,000 weddings a year in the UK, and there's going to be 400,000 this year, there's going to be 350,000 next year. It's still massive, because we've got 2 years of weddings that didn't happen. And although some people got married, they didn't have their wedding day, their dress. So that's all to come, and that's going to go into this year, next year, and into the beginning of 2024. I mean, all the analytical studies that have been done in our industry tell us that. So if you're ready to go shopping, ladies, do it. Don't hold back. You'll get full choice.
Right.
Absolutely. Great advice. Lior, who is the RISH bride, and what does her wedding day look like?
Wow, that's such a tough question. I don't think there's a particular RISH bride, because our dresses are diverse and they can cater to different styles of brides. But I can tell you that I know that our bride has to be unique, has to be fashion forward, and especially I think that our bride is a little tired of the mega corsetries, the Disney ball gowns. She doesn't want to be a princess. She wants to be a woman, a free woman, a strong woman, who likes her wedding gown to be exclusive, to be unique, who likes patterns, who are not afraid of graphic laces, and that really wants to stand out as a woman and not as a princess. I think that's our bride. Other than that, it's really diverse. We have, you know, we have the crepe and we have fitted gowns and A-line gowns. But I think the thing that connects all the dots is really the modern, free-spirited girl. I won't say girl because the modern, free-spirited, for me, that's how I envision my bride.
Yeah.
Anything to add to that, Ellie?
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely right. And I think, you know, when I look at these dresses, a lot of people make the mistake and use the phrase boho and it's a beach babe, and it's not. It's so not. I have some of these dresses that are going to big London weddings with black tie. I have some of these dresses that are going to barn venues. I have some that are going into cathedrals, you know, so they are for, it's all about the person that buys them, not necessarily the wedding type at the end. So it is about a strong, but it is a confident woman that wants to wear something that expresses herself as being different, not mass manufactured, not the same as everybody else, and definitely not the Disney princess. It's polar opposite.
Amazing. Lottie has said, yes, I drive tractors for a living. This is exactly the right thing. We've had someone else say, Ellie seems like such a fun, cool and professional expert. Is the entire RISH collection available in the store? And what are the price points?
Good question. We will have probably just about 20-ish dresses. So, you know, there won't be the entire collection, but it will be all the best sellers and all the most popular dresses that we have requested, along with the exclusive collection of one-offs that will be there. The RISH dresses, I'm astounded at the cost of these dresses because I think they are phenomenal value for how they're made. And when I talk about how they're made, you know, I'm talking about bust darts, I'm talking about where the waist points sit, I'm talking about how we make this dress fit your body. They are phenomenal. And the price point, you'll be delighted to know, is about 1,800 to 2,300. So in my collection, that is a dress that we consider to be very affordable. When you look at the average dress price in the UK and what you get here, I think that's phenomenal value for money, but I'm not going to tell that man that.
Oh yeah, because he deals with the money, doesn't he?
He does the pricing. He does the pricing.
Yeah. Always when we have a new potential client in an interview, so I always say that Yoav is in charge of all the colorful things in the company and I'm in charge of all the gray activities, the money and the workers and the payments and everything. Yeah. But that's what makes us so like perfectly collaborated. So so it's good. I just want to point out what about the styles. Besides the fact that Ellie is a great woman and has a great store, she also does her buying really well. She knows what she does, and we really, of course, we don't have the full collection there, but Ellie carries all of our best sellers. So you can definitely, any girl can find her dream dress there. Any girl.
Yeah, and there's a nice mix in the collection we've got, because we've got and a nice mix of sizes, I would say. I'd like to say that they are inclusive completely. You know, we've got size 8, and I think we've got up to size 18, and I can make a size 0 girl fit those dresses and a size 22 girl fit those dresses. So, you know, my girls are all trained to do that. But, you know, you go from, you know, lace dresses to plain dresses. You've got jackets, you've got sleeves. You know, there's a massive variety that you will get. So, you know, you could start off with Robin, which is this one behind me. You could wear her with the jacket, you could wear her with sleeves. So there's many ways. I could probably make from 20 dresses about 60 styles. So, you know, and that's what it's all about, is making your dress unique to you by styling it with sleeves or toppers or jackets or whatever. So yeah.
And that's really an important point that Ellie brought up about size inclusivity and the way that we try to all to all body types. Most of our gowns are available from size 0 to size, I'm talking in US sizes, but it's like from size 0 to size 32. So we really try to cater to everyone. I know that there are brands that extra when you go from, let's say, size 10 and up. I think personally it's horrible. We never do. I will never allow it on my watch. But yeah, we try to cater to every woman. We have brides. I can't even tell you what size is the most common here out of all orders. We really have a very nice blend of sizes, going from the smallest to the biggest. And, you know, I have to say that it really thrills us and touch us to hear from a bride that is bigger, that she had a lovely time. Finally, she found a dress that has no corsets in it, that require her not to breathe throughout all going down the aisle and the reception. And she's free and she feels it, and she's having a good time in her wedding, even if she is in a bigger size. And it really touches us and we love it so much. I think these are the moments that we feel very happy to come to work, because I know that brides in bigger sizes having hard time to find that are not the usual corsets. And I'm happy to be one of the companies that do emphasize inclusivity and cater to each and every body type.
Yeah, and you were very clear with me from the beginning about that, and the fact that you know, a bigger size dress is made slightly differently because it should be. And you know, if you've got a big bust, you don't want it hanging out the side, you want it covered. And so you were very clear with me, and because of that, I have got dresses, you know, that will work on curvier girls and dresses that work on very slim girls. You know, we each know what works, and so you have to trust us that we put out the right shaped dresses. And also, it's so important to say that these dresses aren't all lace fishtails. There's some beautiful A-lines and some soft, fuller skirts. So girls that don't want to rock a fishtail, that think, you know, because so many of these brands do that, it's only a lace fishtail. We have some beautiful, soft, floaty, fluid skirts. So yeah, it's a very broad style of collection.
Yeah, and point out another thing. If you look at Ellie right now, on her left, you see Florence, and on her right, you see Laura. Yes. So remember 3 minutes ago when I said that Ellie knows what she's doing and her buying is wonderful. So just for you to know, Florence and Laura are among our top 5 bestseller of 2021. So there's really lots to find in Beaconsfield throughout this 2 weeks of trunk show.
Amazing. And I think we kind of touched on the logistics of weddings post-pandemic. Ellie, do you think the feel of weddings has changed and bridal has changed since the pandemic?
I absolutely, 100%. I think the pandemic, if you've got to pull something positive out of a shitstorm, really, excuse my language, but you know, here we are, we've had this pandemic. What did it teach us? It taught us what was important. And what we see with brides now is that they've thrown away the rule book. You know, if they want to, I mean, I've got girls buying dresses for the evening and the day. They're not governed by what they should wear. They're governed by what they want to wear. And I mean, I have a wonderful bride at the moment that's bought the most incredible dress, and she's got 4 people at her wedding, but it's all about how she looks and feels. And so I think we're no longer terrified of having the stereotypical wedding that's cookie cutter off everything that we've seen on Instagram. And therefore girls are being, definitely more relaxed about what they do. And I've definitely seen a massive swing away from ball gowns. I've seen, and a lot of my other designers have not produced the level of ball gowns, and I haven't bought them. So we're seeing a lot more A-lines and soft fit dresses. People are stepping away from too much heavy duty structure. So, you know, it kind of all screams that this works brilliantly. So yeah, people have definitely changed their view. They're spending more money than they've ever spent on wedding dresses, because if it's taught us anything, it's taught us that, you know, we're going to go out with a bang and we're going to look fabulous when we do it. So girls are having the dress of their dreams, Nikita, without question, but they're not feeling obligated to do the stiff, formal princess dress.
Absolutely. And we've got a comment here saying, totally agree. Brides know what they want. 100%.
Oh, you sound scary.
Brides know what they want. And Lior, I understand that brides are able to make little tweaks to personalize their dress. I know a couple of people have commented about dress length. Can you give us an example of how you tweak the dresses?
I'm going to show you one as well.
Oh.
So some girls don't want to have this little bit naked. And so one of the things they would say to us, you know, I really can't have this. You know, this has got to be filled in. Or, you know, what do we do here? So little tiny tweaks. I'm sorry to steal your line, Lior, but
No.
I've got this dress here. It's probably easier. Then we look at the bride's figure, Nikita, and if, you know, she's got a cracking pair of boobs, we're not going to let her feel exposed. So, you know, there's little things we can do to raise here and little things that we can definitely do to fill this in so that they don't feel naked. And then they could wear a bustier support in the dress. There's also some new things that Lior's been working on in terms of side boning, and I'm going to stop talking and let you talk a little bit about that.
No, you're doing it wonderfully, but not just minor tweaks. It's actually can bring the dress to another level that will the specific bride. In terms of adding boning to the upper structure, we do that right now because we saw a growing demand for it. And exactly as Ellie raised V and we can lower or getting the back a little to go a little up if you want to cover a little more. We can hide things, and we can remove crystals and beading and embroidery if a bride wants. And of course, it depends on the fabric and the dress. But we're very open to requests and changes. We're not just pret-à-porter. We also offer these changes to the bride, because I know that, you know, you see a dress, you can feel that it's the dress of your dreams, but you want some minor tweaks. So we do offer that. Yeah, just go ahead when you're a bride, when you see a dress at Ellie Sanderson's and you have specific request, just ask her and she will WhatsApp me immediately. And
even when you're out in the pub.
That's the great thing, because we work with Ellie so much here, and I'm sure many people will recognize the amount of work we do. We collaborate quite a lot with Ellie, and you know, I know that Ellie's quite passionate about building relationships with the designers that she's got in her store. And you know, I think that's really important, because as you know, as someone that will probably want something changed, or you know, maybe you do feel a bit self-conscious about one part of your body, or you want something to show off a part of your body a little bit more, it's always nice to make it a bit more personal to you, and I'm sure Ellie will agree.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I would also add to that, Nikita, that if a girl comes in and says, I want this fabric and I want to change this and I want to change the back neckline, then frankly we say no to lots. Because if you're remaking a dress, it's not your dress. But a tiny tweak, as Lior has said, a tweak or a little modification that makes it perfect for your body, then that's absolutely not a problem at all.
Amazing. And we're coming to the end of my questions. So can you tell us just a little bit more before we wrap up on the launch of RISH in your Beaconsfield studio and how brides can get an appointment to that?
Okay, so if they haven't already booked their appointment, that is, on here. So the launch is weekend in the 12th of February and weekend in the 19th of February. So the collection of RISH will only be available in Beaconsfield for those 2 weeks, which means it's not available in Woodstock for those 2 weeks. The other dresses are arriving probably on Monday, and those are all the bespoke one-offs that are available off the peg. And as Lior has already said, we've never done this before, They are going to be fantastic prices, but they are going to be dresses that you come in, you see, you try on, you love, you buy, you take it away on the day. So be prepared for that. The other collection, the full price collection that's standing behind me, and my favorite girl this week, Robin, all of those dresses for those 2 weeks only, thanks to this lovely man here, I'm able to give any girl a 15% discount on their dress.
Oh.
So, I know. And I had to put his arm up his back, but he agreed. So
it's really important.
It's nice to be. I mean, we wouldn't be able to offer this if we didn't have the close working relationship that we have, and if I didn't sell the dresses that I sold. So you know, that's a great thing for my brides to have that opportunity. So how to book your appointment? I have got a 24/7 live diary system on my website. Make sure that you book into Beaconsfield studio, weekend on the 12th, weekend on the 19th. And then send us a little message in that booking and let us know that you want to try on the RISH collection, and then we'll know. And that's it. It's really simple. You can do it in bed. You can do it over breakfast. You can do it at work. But yeah, your 24/7 booking is the way to go. So it's really easy to do. If you can't get booked on the time that you want to get booked because we're already booked, send us an email and we'll put you on the reserve list. Because it is going to be a busy fortnight. So if you can't get booked in, please let us know and we will do whatever we can. And if we can't get you booked in that week, then we'll see you at some point the following week. No question.
Amazing. Yeah. We've got quite a few comments coming in. I wish I was buying mine now. Oh, Lottie, bless you. Obviously had a great experience with Ellie. Someone saying you can buy a second one. Well, there you go. Buy the second. Someone saying, what? I didn't get a discount. Should have come to you. And everyone else is saying, that's amazing. So fab. Thank you, guys. I have one more question for you, and I think it's going to be a tough one. Can you tell me what your favorite dress of the collection is?
That's like having a favorite child.
Yes, exactly. For me, choosing my favorite child, I think that my favorite would be Florence.
Yeah.
I think it's a mixture of our fabric and amazing silhouette. It's also a bestseller, and I see it on so many real brides, and it's just phenomenal.
Stunning. Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking around the collection. It is a hard. Yeah, I change my mind every day. I have huge admiration for this dress because of how it's cut and made, because there's nowhere to hide in a plain dress. You can't hide a bad seam. So I absolutely love Robin, and I absolutely love this back. But I'm also a fan of Laura, and I love Pandora, and I love Florence. So yeah, I've got.
I asked for one, Ellie.
I know, it's too hard. But yeah.
I just want to say another very, very important thing for the brides that plan on arriving or still hesitate. These 15% off are available in 2022. It will be available just for these 2 weeks. So take advantage and enjoy the discount, because it won't happen again throughout the year. Yeah. I really recommend girls come and visit. I promise you'll find your dress.
Yeah. And I'm just going to say one little thing to Lottie and the other girls that are watching that have bought their dress. I know you didn't get the 15% discount. Drop me an email and I'll do something little special thing for you as well, because I don't want you to feel let down. So you will get a little voucher towards your accessories. I'll look after you, I promise.
Oh, bless you, Ellie.
I feel bad.
Bless you. Right, well, thank you both so much for joining us tonight, and I really hope everyone watching has enjoyed it. I'll try and make sure it goes on to our grid. Thank you so much, and have a lovely evening, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks, Nikita. Bye, Leon.
Bye.
Chat soon. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.